This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to Isha Training Solutions. So we will wait for 2 more minutes for others to join, and then we will start our session. So we will give a couple of minutes for others to join, and then we will start our session. Guys. Okay? Yeah. Hi everyone, once again, welcome to Isha Training Solutions. So in our yesterday session, we discussed about what are all the course content that we are going to cover. So today we are pretty much going to start our learning. So welcome everyone. Uh, we will start our first topic, basically performance engineering introduction. That is what we are going to discuss right now. So we should have the understanding about performance engineering means what. Because in certain organization, they are having the job role as performance engineers.
Hello. Sorry to interrupt. My apologies, but looks like my audio is not uh, clear. I'm not sure if others are facing the same issue.
Just a minute. Just
Oh yes, even I am facing the same issue.
now is it audible?
Pretty much clear. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So in our yesterday's session, we were discussing about course content. Now, pretty much we are going to start our actual learning. So, introduction to performance engineering. First, we should know what is performance engineering, because that understanding is actually missing in most of us. Okay, because when you are actually moving to performance engineering learning, say like in this forum, there are uh, few performance testers who their experience is actually 7 years or 8 years or even 10 years experience to performance testers. So even after 10 years of experience, if you guys are still saying, I will do requirement gathering, I will do testing, I will do execution, I will do reporting, in that way, if you are saying, what customer will think? Customer will think the same activity can be done by 4 year experienced or 3 year experienced performance tester. Why should I pay this much of money for you if you are doing the same work? That is the intention. That is the intention from every customer, because they will think about return on investment. Okay, how much I am paying to you, how much you are working for me. That is the thinking. Okay. Similarly, say like you are 8 year experienced or 10 year experienced performance tester, you are going for year-end one-on-one discussion with your manager. Year-end one-on-one discussion with your manager. If he is asking like what are all the achievements that you did in this last year, If you are still saying, I did the requirement gathering, I did scripting, execution, like that, if you are saying, even your manager will ask you a question. What is the additional activity that you did? So it is becoming mandatory now over the period if you are working as a performance tester, and after some point of time, you have to learn performance engineering concepts as well. That is how it is actually expected now. Okay, so what is expected? You have to move to your performance engineering learning over the journey. Over the journey, you have to move to performance engineering learn. That is one aspect. The other aspect is, say like you are doing a performance testing and you are reporting your problem statement. You are reporting your problem statement to your developer or your stakeholder. You are saying so and so transaction took so and so seconds. That is not expected nowadays. You have to provide reason for that problem statement. Say like, is it actually a problem in your client side content loading? Is it actually a problem in your actual business logic? It is actually a problem in your database data loading. The infrastructure is actually having a problem. Like that, you have to provide reason for your problem statement. That is what is expected nowadays. That's the reason the job roles like DevOps engineer or the performance engineers are comes into the picture, because no more reporting issue. It is something that you have to involve yourself to do that fine tuning of that problem statement or optimization of the problem statement. That is what is actually expected nowadays. Okay, either you do it or you ask somebody to do it. That is what nowadays the trend. Okay, the trend is either you do it or you ask somebody to do it. So in that case, performance engineering learning is actually very important. Now you come to a conclusion. Okay, only testing or you are going to involve much more than that. So only testing, yes, to a certain extent, it is actually going to help you. But after that, you have to definitely learn performance engineering concept. You cannot simply say, I will do testing. No, no. Even most of the organization, what they are doing, they are making their performance testers to do additional task. What is that additional task? Either monitoring they can do, either profiling they can do, either client-side monitoring or shift-left approach, early performance testing. Like that, they are involving their performance testers in different activities. That is what the trend, Okay, so that is the reason we are going to learn the performance engineering concepts. I'll take a pause here. Any question, guys? Okay. So performance engineering, now we have the clarity. It is not only going to test it, it is actually going to provide the recommendations, findings and everything. Sometimes you are going to provide the solution as well. Sometimes you are going to provide the solution as well. Okay. Performance testers will say problem. That's all. In that level, they are stopping their activity. Performance engineers, they are going to go beyond that and they are going to say this is a problem, this is a recommendation, and this way you have to resolve the problem. That is what performance engineers are actually doing. Performance engineers are actually doing this activity. Okay, so it may be different level, guys. Okay, it may be how the content is loading in the browser. Yes, that is also one of the performance engineering activity. It is about how you are doing your business function. It is in a simplest way how you can do it. That is also you can provide it. Or how the data is actually retrieved or stored in the DB. Is there anything can be done to optimize that one? That also one of the performance engineering. because of deploying your application in the server is using so and so CPU, so and so memory, so and so disk. You can optimize that as well. So it is about where you are contributing, what you are contributing. Performance engineering is not like you have to do everything. You can contribute in any of these layers. It may be client side, it may be application side, it may be DB side, it may be infra side. Anywhere you can contribute, provided you should have that understanding. You should have that understanding. So going forward, if somebody is asking what is performance engineering means, it is not about reporting the issue. It is about reporting the issue along with the proper details. You can even fix the detail if you have the programming knowledge, or else you request the person to do that and then fine tune the application. Okay, because everybody's perception is like this. If I wanted to become a performance engineer, do I need to learn any coding language or what? So it is not straight away mandatory to learn that, but over the journey you can learn that. Okay, so I told you, right, you can contribute in client side, you can contribute in application side, you can contribute in DB side, you can contribute in infra side, like that I told you, right? So you can contribute across the layer, and where there is a necessary over the journey. I mean, it's not like today you are going to learn and tomorrow you are going to become performance engineer, right? So it's a journey. So in this journey, anytime if you wanted to become a Java performance engineer or .NET performance engineer, no, that time you can learn the language. Till then, you can contribute at different other places, maybe on the client side, on the infra side, on the DB side, like that. You can contribute in the other layers as well. Over the journey, maybe over the journey of 1 year or 2 years, you wanted to learn that space as well. Yes, you can learn it and then you can contribute it. So it is a continuous learning. It is actually a wide range of learning. In that, the code language or code learning is actually one small part of it. Okay. Other than that, there are a lot of things are there. Okay. Who all can contribute means even performance testers who is having a expanded knowledge, yes, they can contribute. That is what we are going to do right now. Okay. Who are all eligible for this learning? You know, yeah, fresher who is having an interest to learn about the detailed concepts, yes, they can learn it. Or performance tester, they wanted to upskill, cross-skill their knowledge, and then they wanted to move their career to performance engineering role. Yes, they can do it. Even developers, those who are already having a knowledge on that layer and they wanted to upskill, cross-skill, and then they wanted to become a performance engineer, even they can also do it. So like this, everybody can contribute in this, provided in what way you are going to approach it. Because I told you, right, lot of activities are done by performance engineers. You are going to choose what you are going to learn. Say like, I'm going to focus on database layer. I'm going to focus on infrastructure layer. I'm going to focus on application layer, like that. What layer that you are going to focus, what are all the learning that you are going to have it, and then what you are going to contribute with respect to the problem statement. That is how performance engineering or performance engineer role is actually comes into the picture. I'll take a pass. Any question, guys? Yeah. The next important topic is performance engineering life cycle. Performance engineering life cycle. So actually, I told you, right? Like yesterday also I told you, every activity that we do, there are life cycle involved in that. Say software development, I told you, right? A developer, what they are doing, they are having a SDLC. SDLC means software development life cycle. Okay, testers, even your functional testers, right? What they are doing, STLC. Okay, software testing life cycle. What about performance testers? Performance testers, what they are having? They are having PTLC, performance testing life cycle. Performance testing life cycle. So similarly, performance engineers, what they are doing? PELC, performance engineering life cycle. Performance engineering life cycle. Okay, so engineering, I mean, you are trying to find the optimization logic. Okay, optimization logic. So you are going to provide your findings, recommendations, solutions, and everything. You are trying to do it in the performance engineering side. Testing is only testing. It is going to only say problem. That's all. Problem. You are going to come out of it. But where is the problem? What is the problem? How to resolve it? How to overcome that? That is all involved in the performance engineering. That is all involved in the performance engineering. Okay. So you think like this, even if you are a customer, you are investing so and so money on a IT professional, will you see a person is only reporting the problem or a person who is actually providing more insight about the problem? Which person you will choose? You will choose a person who is actually providing more insight about the problem. Correct or not?
Right.
So that's where performance engineering role is actually very, very important. Okay, so now what is actually happening, performance testers, they are not at all showing any interest in any other layer. I don't know, I don't think like I'm blaming performance tester. Even I also worked as a performance tester, so I know what we usually do. We collect the requirement, convert that into script, execute it, provide the report, move to the next release activity. That's all. That's a activity we do. We provide the report, move to the next release activity, no matter what is actually happening. Whether it is a problem, it's not a problem, what happened to that release, no, nothing we will focus on. We will focus only on the next release activity once you are done with the reporting. And that reporting also, I don't know, there are performance testers, what they are providing, simply they, just a minute. Simply they are providing average response time, hits per second, throughput. Okay, average response time, hits per second, throughput. That's all. More than this, they are not even providing anything. Okay, so average response time, that too they'll say greater than SLA, less than SLA. That too in certain organization, they don't have SLA, means they are simply copy pasting the result from performance testing tool and they are providing that. Okay, so there is no insight. I mean, there is no detailed explanation for what is actually happening in this report. Okay, so I mean, you have to provide detailed things like this response time itself. You have to provide a detailed one. Even using this hits per second throughput graph, also you can provide a lot of insights, right? Okay, I don't know. So I'll ask this question. Whether your hits per second and throughput is actually directly proportional or inversely proportional?
Directly proportional, sir.
Directly proportional in the sense your statement I will validate. Okay, so you have your hits per second increases. Okay, hits per second increases and your throughput is increases. Correct? That is a directly proportional.
Yes, sir.
Say, is this the same case happens all the way? If your hits per second increases, your throughput decreases?
Yeah. Most of the
Throughput
time it will be similar, sir. No, it will not decrease. If hit per second increases, throughput also will increase.
Actually, this scenario is possible, Yamini. Only thing is your application is not responding properly. That time hits per second increases, your throughput will be decreased. That is actually a problem statement. Okay, so yes, your point is valid. If your application is healthy, there is no problem. Means that time hits increases, throughput increases. Okay, if your application is not responding properly, that time hit, even though hit is increasing, throughput will not be increasing. It is actually decreasing. Okay, so which means that your application stopped responding. Okay, similarly, you think like hits decreases, throughput is actually increases. That is also possible, right? You are trying to retrieve unbelievable data from the server. Okay, some video, some huge content that you are trying to retrieve from the server. So even though if you are giving a very less hit, throughput may be high. So all these things are actually possible. Clear, Amni?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this kind of investigation or root cause analysis, many are actually not doing it. Okay, actually saying without even mentioning anything in the report, nowadays we are getting the report. I mean, simply copy pasting the report and you are trying to share it to the customer. What happened? I shared one report to a Belgium customer. Okay, Belgium customer. So Belgium customers, you know, right? They know only French and Dutch. I mean, yes, they know English, but predominantly they know French and Dutch only. Okay, so when we share this kind of a report, you know, for them it is little hard to digest these information. So what I did, first I provided what is average response time. Even I provided the definition. Okay, what is average response time? What is your current report? What is actually expected? What is actually deviated, like that. They like that report like anything. They liked that report and they straight away awarded that project to the organization. So why I'm saying this, sometimes the receiver may not be technically sound, or even they are technically sound, but you did not convey the information in a way what they expected. So in that case, it is about how you are sharing the information. Whether you are providing the average response time, hits per second, throughput, or anything, you have to provide it in a way that receiver can understand it in a detailed way. That's how you have to provide your report. Okay. Not only this level, this tool level metric is not only sufficient, guys. Even you have to provide something like CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization. All these things also you have to provide it to the customer. Okay, many are not doing it. I mean, in industry, most of the performance testers, they are not right now providing these information. That's also a problem, right? That's also a problem. You should provide not only tool level metric, I mean your client side level, or you call it as whatever, your server side level, whatever. So you are not, you don't want to provide only this level metric. You should also provide infrastructure level metric also. That is actually expected. That is actually expected. You are trying to provide some DB level metric also important. Okay, DB level metrics. Okay, that is also important. Why it is important? Because you think like this, guys. Anybody can realize this. Say like you are running a test. Running a test. Your average, your average response time is actually like this. Your average response time is actually like this. Okay, maybe your SLA is actually 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Okay, your SLA is actually 3 seconds. But you did not monitor the infrastructure data. You did not monitor the infrastructure data. But actually, what happened? Your available memory graph. Okay, your available memory graph is actually trending like this. Your available memory graph is actually trending like this. Exactly after 1 hour, you stop the test. Exactly after 1 hour, you stop the test. Okay, so you stop the test and you provided, because you did not monitor this, right? You did not monitor this. You only know this level of information. What will you provide as a report? Your average response time is well within the range. It is under the SLA, and you are going to provide that number to your stakeholder, saying like everything is green, super good application, very good. Like that, you are going to provide your report. But realistically speaking, what is happening, guys? Anybody can provide your insight? What is happening in the real situation?
Memory, the available memory is coming down. So basically, we have issue on the infrastructure side.
Yeah.
On the server side, irrespective of client side metrics showing good.
Yeah, correct. Wonderful, Avinash. So, which means that within very short span of time, you are going to get a out of memory error. You don't have sufficient memory because I mean exactly by 1 hour itself it is like this. So after 1.5 hours or 2 hours, what will happen? Total memory will be gone, and you are going to get a memory constraint problem. Okay, memory constraint problem. But you are doing a load testing for 1 hour. Okay, you are doing a load testing for 1 hour, and you are certifying this application is actually working good. That's not the right approach. That's not the right approach. Actually saying this is also one problem. The other problem is in most of the organization, they are only doing load testing. Most of the organization, they are only doing load testing. But if realistically speaking, you have to do load test, stress test, endurance test, volume test, scalability test, all those type of testing you have to do. But you are not doing because you don't have time. You don't have time because we are working in agile model. We are working in DevOps model. Because of that, what is happening? We are not focusing on that layer, that type of testing at all. That type of testing we are not doing at all. Because of that, what is happening? We are missing many issues. We are missing many issues. That's where performance engineer role is actually coming. Performance, because performance tester, they are time bound activity. Developers, they are time bound activity because everybody is working for release level activity. But performance engineers, they don't have time bound activity. They can focus on application optimization. They can focus on application optimization. So they can focus on all these problem statements. What are all the problem statements? You are not properly doing infrastructure monitoring, and you are not doing multiple type of testing to make sure application is working fine, or what. You are not testing the application with the different workload. You are not testing the application with the different test data. Like that, lot of problem statements are there because a performance tester, they are working in agile model, or they are working in DevOps model. They don't have sufficient time to focus on all these type of testing, all these type of workload, all these type of test data. That's a problem, right? So that coverage can be done by the performance engineers along with their regular activity. I mean, yes, there are multiple other activities will be done by performance engineers. Along with that, they can focus on these things as well, because those are all missing part, loopholes. Okay, they have to focus on that, but they are not doing it. So that can be done by the performance engineers as well. I'll take a pause here. Any question guys still now?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. Usually, you said like the memory utilization and disk utilization and all, we will be monitoring all the things, right? So we need to wait until the 1 hour test completed, or during the test only we will be uh, while running the test we will monitor all the things, or we will monitor once we completed the test, sir?
Usually it is after completion only. Okay, usually. But if you are using APM tools or something like that, where you have the live monitoring capabilities there, means yes, you can identify the problem statement in the middle itself. You don't want to wait for 1 hour to happen. If you are keep on getting error message, say like there are applications. Yesterday also one of the learner, he showed his application. Okay, for 3 user load itself, the application started giving too many error messages. 3 user load. Okay, so I mean it's actually unable to create multiple sessions. So you don't want to wait for 1 hour, right? It's actually showing in the middle of the test itself. There is a problem. You don't want to wait until 1 hour completion and then make your findings and recommendation. Initial stage itself, we are able to find it. So it is about what is the problem, or no other go. There are times you are executing it in the without having live monitoring capability. In that case, you have to wait for 1 hour, collect the data, and then plot the graph and then find the problem. That is also the other way. Okay, but mostly it is actually end of the test only. If you have the live monitoring capability, you can do it in the middle as well. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So why I am saying all these things, because when you are doing your activity in the future, you should also focus on these layers, because right now we are missing. I wanted to cover that in the future. Okay, right now we are missing all these things. We are missing. What are all the things we are missing? I told you infrastructure monitoring, and even your client side monitoring, client side. Or you client side you say, or browser side, whatever you take it, browser. Okay, because why I'm saying browser side also we are missing. Your performance testing tools are not providing this level of metric. Performance testing tools are, it is not providing this level of metric. Why? Anybody thought about it before? Say like I have my just a minute. So I have my browser. Okay, and I am giving the request. I'm giving the request to my server. Okay, I'm giving the request to the server. The server will give back the response. Okay, just a minute. Instead of doing it here, I'll do it in the paint. Yeah. So I told you browser, your server, you are giving a request, and that is actually going to your server, and your server is actually processing the request, and it is giving back the response. Okay, so this is what is actually happening. Typically, when you are doing something manually, this is what is actually happening. Browser, this is actually server. Okay, so what you guys are doing, everybody, what you guys are doing, you guys are using the load testing tool. Say like anything, you think like Jmeter, LoadRunner, or anything. You think like load testing tool. So in my case, I'm saying like Jmeter itself. Okay, Jmeter, because nowadays everybody started using Jmeter. So Jmeter is actually a proxy server, man in the middle. Okay, man in the middle, proxy server. What Jmeter, not only Jmeter, any performance testing tool works in the same way. Okay, what it will do during recording, what will you do? You will launch a browser. I mean, you are recording in Jmeter. What will you do? You will launch a browser. That time a request will be triggered from the browser. What your tool will do? It will take the copy of the request. It will take the copy of the request, because browser trigger the request. Request is actually triggered. Your tool will take the copy of the request, because it is a proxy server, man in the middle. So it will send the request to your server. Your server will process the data, and it will send the response. and it will send the response. Okay, it will send the response. So what your tool will do, your tool will capture the copy of the response, and it will send the response back to the server, browser. It will send the response back to the browser. This is what is actually happening during the recording. During the script recording, this is what is actually happening. You are giving the request is going to the server, but your tool is actually capturing that traffic, HTTP traffic, it is actually capturing it. Say like you are done with the recording. What will you do? You will do the replay. So that time you are going to do the replay means what will happen? There is nothing like browser. There is no concept like browser. Browser will not be there. What your tool will do? Tool is already having the request, right? That request will be triggered. Because tool is having the copy of the request, right? So during the replay, tool will give the request to the server, and server will process the request, and then it will provide a what? It will provide a response. So that is actually called as what? Replay response, right? That is actually called as replay response. So what your tool is actually doing here, it is comparing the recorded response with the replay response, and it is going to say pass or fail. It is having the recorded response and it is having the replay response. It is going to say whether it is actually pass or fail. Okay. So now what is actually the problem statement? What I told you, this layer is actually completely gone. Your browser layer is actually completely gone. You cannot get browser loading, browser rendering, page painting. All those things are actually missing in your load testing report. These numbers are not available. You guys can claim with me that, sir, there is a protocol called TrueClient protocol in LoadRunner, sir, where you can get all those things. But even then, the true representation or true split up of your end-to-end response time, you cannot get it in LoadRunner tool also. So now the problem statement is clear, right? Performance testers, they are unable to get the client-side layer, client-side things also. So all these are problem statement. Infrastructure monitoring, you are not doing. Client-side monitoring, you are unable to get it. So that's where performance engineers are comes into the picture, and they are trying to use different tools to identify what is happening in client side, what is happening in DB side, what is happening in application side. Like that, they are doing the activity. I'll take a pause here. Any question guys still now?
No.
Yeah. So maybe those who wanted to enroll for this course, please enroll yourself. This is Kumar's our number 80199524227. 80199524227. I'm pinging the number in the chat. You guys can take it. 80199524227. Okay, I'll ping this course content also in the chat. You guys can take it. This is what we are going to learn in this entire journey. So pretty much we started the course content. So I think you don't want to miss any topic. You don't want to miss any content that we are discussing. Please enroll yourself to do the continuous learning. Anyways, I don't want to mention that tomorrow or continuously we are going to learn this content. So please enroll yourself. 80199524227 is Kumar's number. All these sessions are actually recorded, and you will be getting a YouTube playlist URL. In that playlist URL, all the videos are daily. They will upload the video. So So you can watch the video at any time. These videos you are going to have a lifetime access. Lifetime access. Okay. Say like there are instances if you are missing 1 or 2 session, you can watch the video and then you can come back. So that is also available. And all the supporting documents, artifacts and everything, we are going to share it through Google Drive. Okay, Google Drive, we are going to share it. You can download and then you can do all the hands-on experience and everything. You can do it in your machine. So it's a practical oriented learning, and we are going to cover the interview aspects as well, interview related questions as well. We are going to cover it. So all in all, we are going to cover the learning with hands-on experience, with interview preparation questions, and all the artifacts that we are trying to share it in the Google Drive. All these videos are available in YouTube playlist URL, and the time slot is this slot. I mean 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Indian time, correspondingly in other locations. Okay, so 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Indian time, correspondingly in other time slots. So you can see the time slots in the link itself. You can check that as well. So 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Indian time, we are going to have it. So any questions related to time slot, course content, it is actually 25 hours of a session we are planning. So all these things are covered under in the 24 hours of a session. Each day 1 hour of a session we are going to have it. So please enroll yourself for the continuous learning. Tomorrow we will see the PELC, Performance Engineering Life Cycle session, guys. Okay, any question? Yeah. So thanks everyone for joining this session. Thanks everyone for giving me this opportunity for sharing knowledge, sharing my knowledge and experience. So we will continue the same in this entire course journey. Thanks for the learners who joined today to evaluate us. So please enroll yourself for the continuous learning. Thanks all. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.